What's up, everyone? We have brand new news coming from Inui Masato's Instagram page. If you don't know, he is the producer of Sasuke. And I think I reported on this in the last video, but there's like this new gray color scheme. I think it looks like the vertical limit's going to be gray based off past pictures we've seen. Actually, this is going to be a double update. This was a while ago. I never made a video about it, but they are adding, I believe this was called, butterfly something. Double Dipper. This was called the Double Dipper in American Ninja Warrior. They're calling it Dragon Glider, which is actually a way cooler name. But, you know, it would be really cool to be that kid who actually designed this, because now this obstacle has gone into the main show because it was so good. But so we have that one coming in. As you can see, it's gray. I doubt they would paint it after course testing. And everything is already filmed. Obviously, we have the gray vertical limit. But the main new thing today, the reason you probably clicked on this video, is there's a quote-unquote, and I'll show you here, this is quote-unquote new stage 3. That's sort of not entirely true. All they've added is this new obstacle. It looks like they got rid of the drum hopper. And the drum hopper was like one of my favorite obstacles. But depending on how this new planet bridge obstacle, which is just an extremely hard, maybe extremely hard version of the body prop, depending on how it exactly is, this could easily take the drum hopper's place and make the stage so much better. At least we know it's going to make the stage a lot more interesting, because I think people are starting to get tired of seeing failures right around the ultra crazy cliffhanger and the vertical limit. And for the past, I don't know, since around 2010, 2009, something around then, the failures have always been revolving around the cliffhanger, and I think people are starting to get a little bit tired of it. I think just the fact that Universal Tuber made the Ultra Crazy Cliffhanger and Vertical Limit Kai combination going to be the end of Sasuke, I think just that is enough to kind of show that people are getting tired of this. I don't necessarily agree with him that that's going to be the end of Sasuke. This is that whole gauntlet is easily clearable by Isaac Caldiero, Jeff Britton, and Sean McCall, just to name a few names. It's just that the people who get that far aren't the most skilled people. No insult to Kawaguchi Tomohiro or Yusuke Morimoto. It's just that they aren't world-class rock climbers, and then they aren't Jeff Britton. Jeff Britton would be the exception to people who could beat that. But so the thing about this obstacle, and the reason that that it might be so good for the stage, is because it's either going to be these balls that are spinning on a motor, and it does kind of look like that, but I'm not, you know what, it doesn't. There's no motor here. So this track is going to be moving. I don't know how. It would make more sense for it to be some kind of conveyor belt. If we do translate the page, which we actually can't do, on Instagram, if you translate the page, it says that this scaffolding is motorized. Now, of course, the translations aren't always perfect, so we really don't know. It should be this part. I think, yeah, I mean, honestly, let's put this part in a translator. Automatically opening and closing continuously. Alright, let's get the entire thing. Yeah, let's just get the entire thing. And obviously, you know, Google Translate isn't that good. If I try and translate this myself, it's going to come out worse than Google Translates. It is a revised version of the body prop that used to exist. Holds both hands on the ball, foot on the board on the right side, and moves sideways. In addition, the scaffolds are opened and closed continuously. Wait a minute. Okay. The scaffolds are opened and closed continuously? What does that mean? What I would guess is there would be like some kind of door here that opens and closes, but that doesn't really make any sense. The balls are open and closed also wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, guys, I really do not know what exactly that means, but it probably has something to do with this, but I'm also not entirely sure because we don't see any breaks in this where like a door could open or something. If any of you guys understand it, let me know in the comments, and I'll pin your comments. Obviously, if you provide a source or can explain clearly what's happening there. But nevertheless, this is the reason that this obstacle is going to be good for Sasuke Stage 3. So besides the fact that people might be getting tired of all these cliffhanger fails, and the cliffhanger being the hardest obstacle, because you know the cliffhanger was cool as the hardest obstacle in the show, and the one that was going to be the big eliminator, the big updated one every season, but you know, it's been 3 iterations of that. People are getting tired now that it's not really clearable anymore. And the Ultra Crazy Cliffhanger just isn't different enough from the Crazy Cliffhanger. Kind of in the same sense that like the Shin Cliffhanger, well, Shin Cliffhanger was really cool, but like the Cliffhanger Kai, the Cliffhanger Drop, those ones nobody liked them as much as they did the later iterations. That also really became classic once the Shin Cliffhanger came in, and ever since then that's been the hardest obstacle on the show, or like the big one that was really the test of if you can take total victory or if you're not good enough. And the problem with that, and especially in recent years, is that all the obstacles up to then have been a lower tier of difficulty, and then once you get to the Ultra Crazy Cliffhanger, instantly the show becomes many times more difficult, instead of the show gradually becoming more difficult like it did in previous seasons. Like, at least in the not even in the Crazy Cliffhanger era, but even before that, the show, at least like the Ultimate Cliffhanger era, the obstacles did get continuously harder. And even in the Crazy Cliffhanger era, we had the Swap Salmon Ladder, at least as a harder obstacle in a previous stage. But and you know, normally the obstacles will get gradually harder, especially in Stage 3. And this is the one thing that American Ninja Warrior does well, besides the wedge and Wingnut Alley being in the second stage. This is the one thing they do well. The obstacles gradually get harder as you move on. And so that way, people aren't getting to this Ultra Crazy Cliffhanger and then everybody in Stage 3 fails there except for one guy. Because obviously there should be some other harder obstacles before there, or easier obstacles before there, that slowly take these guys out as they match their difficulty. Sasuke just hasn't been able to do this. So I would say if there was no moving factor here, that wouldn't be hard. I've done a body prop like this. I did it a couple years ago, and I am not that strong. This really wouldn't be that hard, especially since you could literally put your hands on top of these and have your feet here. So there has to be some kind of, if these were motorized, it would be super hard. If this was moving up and down, or maybe side to side, that would be pretty hard as well. But doors opening and closing, I just don't see them. I just don't get it. Nevertheless, though, this could be at least, if this obstacle eliminated half of the people that got to it and only half of them moved on to the Ultra Crazy Cliffhanger, it would do its job and make the season way more interesting, especially if the first couple people to try it didn't clear it. Because we've really been missing for at least a few years for somebody to clear an extremely difficult obstacle. We've been stuck on the vertical limit Kai for a while, and 3 seasons is going to be the limit for an obstacle in Sasuke that's been left unclear. I believe the Shin Cliffhanger only took 2 seasons, besides the final stage, that doesn't count, but the Shin Cliffhanger only took like 2 seasons to get through. Ultimate Cliffhanger only took 3 seasons to get through. Crazy Cliffhanger, 2 seasons to get through. The Vertical Limit, also, that was an instant season. So yeah, they kind of have, besides the Stage 4, which even the Rope Climb only took, no, that actually took 4 seasons to get through. But anyways, if they pass this season, if the Vertical Limit was still not beaten, I believe it would be breaking a record. So it's just got to be deleted. It's got to be taken down.